Ladies and gentlemen, Israel is a terror state in the Middle East. We're going to talk about Israel. I got the NPR article brought up from pager blast to Nasrallah's killing. 11 days that transformed a bloody conflict from September 29th, which is yesterday, by Kat Lonsdorf and Itai Shea. For people that don't know, Hassan Nasrallah died in a bombing by Israel. He's the head of Hezbollah since 1992, when the last guy was bombed by Israel, which we'll get back to. This comes after the week of pager bombings, which I don't think in any way I can imagine aided the fucking aided the overall tactics that were used, and I'll get into this shit a little bit, but let's just see what's going on here real quick. Israel announced on Saturday that it had killed Hassan Nasrallah, the longtime leader of Hezbollah, in a powerful series of airstrikes that rocked Beirut on Friday evening. The Iranian-backed militia later confirmed Nasrallah's death. If you say the Iranian-backed militia, I feel like it's you only honorable that you call like Israel the America-backed military. I just want that. It doesn't even mean anything to me, but I just feel like it's an extra stab. The announcement came after an eventful and deadly 12 days in the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, including Hezbollah. I was listening to people actually say that name out loud. I don't know if I'm supposed to try to say it like Hezbollah or like Hezbollah. Hezbollah. Including the killing of several other high-ranking Hezbollah officials and more than 1,000 people in Lebanon after a series of near-synchronized explosions followed by thousands of Israeli airstrikes over 7 days. Okay, so the NPR org is a little too chill, one-sided. These attacks left thousands more wounded and displaced tens of thousands of people. Near-synchronized explosions is a generous way to say an organized mass terror attack on Lebanon. You can't stop thinking it's Hassan Piker. Oh, Jesus Christ. We'll get to Hassan here soon enough. Hezbollah also retaliated against Israel, firing hundreds of rockets towards northern Israel and at least one long-range cruise missile toward Tel Aviv, which was intercepted by Israel's air defense system. It's the first time the militant group had ever done so. Although most of these projectiles were shot down, several did make it through, causing damage to residential homes, a regional hospital, and injuring several civilians. Here's a more detailed timeline of how these dramatic events unfolded. This is funny because I was seeing people talking so much shit. This is like one thing I just want people to start pointing out more often. And really, just if you're Israeli or pro-Israel or pro-Zionist, you guys got to understand that this is looking more and more absurd and kind of obscene from your side. Is this, do we have a right to defend ourselves? Do we have a right to defend ourselves? And then, like, I see every time that they try to bomb you guys and, like, they miss, you have this big, like, celebration. It's like, look, they're so pathetic. They can't hit us. Oh, the beautiful Iron Dome is blowing these out of the sky. Oh, fuck it. Like, they shot all of these, like, moronic, homemade dog shit rockets that didn't do any damage. I think even the people that were injured in the bombing weren't hit by the bombs, from what I understand, and who the fuck knows when it comes to reporting coming out of here. Those were a majority of those were trample injuries from people just fucking running over the top of each other to get to the functional and effective shelters that they have in Israel, because they're getting bombed by Iranian tech at best and being defended by American technology, and then rebombing the other people with American technology, which is a little bit more effective, as we'll see if they get to the pictures here. Here's a more detailed timeline of how these events unfolded. September 17th, my birthday, thousands of pagers, many belonging to Hezbollah members, simultaneously explode across Lebanon and Syria, killing at least 14 people, including some children, and injuring around 4,000, hundreds of them critically. No idea how many, because we don't know where we aimed. That's the most important part of this. That's a terror attack. It's just raw. It's just raw a fucking terror attack. It's a violation of numerous conventions of warfare. It's unnecessary, and it's highly ineffective compared to doing conventional tactics, as we'll see later, such as dropping purpose-built munitions directly where you think somebody is in order to pound that area and fucking kill them. Like bunker buster bomb. Actually fucking super good. Raytheon, way better than whatever fucking Israeli meth head you guys had fucking re-screwing pagers together out there in the fucking desert somewhere. 4,000 people. We're just going to compare these numbers endlessly because, like, I don't care that Israel did it. If Hezbollah did it, it would be I would have the same criticism. It's my biggest issues with it are just that Israel first off did a terror attack, and because they're Israel, we're trying to pretend that it's not a mass terror attack. Because if you literally pull the Israeli flag off of it, it's a terror attack for every single other polity on earth. Organized governments and not. It's just a terror attack. It's a mass undirected bombing of people, and you can't tell if all the bombs went off, where all the bombs are, where they were at the point of detonation. None of that shit. It's completely a non-directed mass terror attack on an entire country. And the thing is if you want to just say that you're doing it, like, just own it. You know what I mean? Like, just like, yeah, we did terrorism because we fucking hate Hezbollah and we fucking hate the Lebanese people that hide Hezbollah. Like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, cool. That makes sense. All right, just own up to it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, when you fucking killed the last fucking guy, which we should get to here in a bit, the dude that came before Nasrallah, you fucking killed his wife and his kid in the car with him. You think, fuck him. You know, you did it on purpose. Like, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna kill this guy's wife and his kid too, because fuck him. Like, just say that. Just own it. I just don't like being fucking like lied to is my biggest issue with this entire thing, and the child killing. Because it's bad warfare. I'll get into all of that probably in the next day or so. User display name just here, $200. Oh fuck, I don't have that program together. Rick Genesis, 200 bits. First time catching your Tyler, epic content. Thank you. We know Ryan Macbeth says it's not a terror attack at all. Ryan Macbeth is fucking wrong. Sorry. Ryan knows a lot about some of the technological aspects of warfare, I'm seeing. He's really good at systems analyst type shit, computers, and the technology that goes into spotting stuff. Like, he's good at that. But I don't think he knows a lot about on-the-ground munitions. He was one of the guys that was saying this absolutely, the Israel attack was not bombs in the pagers. It wasn't, conventional explosives. They were using hacking to superheat lithium batteries. Which is like, I watched like 2 videos of this shit. I'm telling you right now, that's an explosion, because that's how a fucking explosion works. Like, no lithium battery is going. They wouldn't let you sell lithium batteries if they could explode to that fucking degree. That looks like about 3 ounces or so of fucking Pet B. I said it looks like it's about maybe 2 or 3 inches of det cord and a blasting cap. And then when they started doing explosives analysis, I was literally 100% right. It's like roughly 3 ounces of Pet B explosive in a blasting cap to set it off with an electric detonator. It's like, yeah, dude, it's not rocket science. It's just bomb science. It's a simpler version. It's not, just assume it is probably more than likely what it is, the most easy way to do it. I don't know why anyone would try to hack shit when radio signals can penetrate like so much more stuff more effectively than like Wi-Fi signals. You get the long range, the big wide one or whatever the fuck it is, and then they all go off. Most of them. We have no idea. There might still be unexploded ordnance out of there. I think actually I was hearing that there are unexploded pagers that are being collected because of munitions malfunction, because this is just something that happens. It's not like, oh, it's a big conspiracy to prove me right. You just have UXO. Any ordnance person will tell you this. Anybody that's worked with bombs, you just have UXO. It happens literally all the time. Just primer doesn't work. Explosive is weird. Thing is miswired. Signal doesn't go off. Something in there is burning weirdly slow for some reason, and it'll go off for some reason in 2 months. No one knows what the fuck is wrong with it. That's UXO. UXO is one of the most dangerous things on all battlefields. As a matter of fact, unexploded ordnance is one of the largest risks to life in every single post-war theater that exists to this day, to the point where it is still a high risk to life at the fucking Somme. Like, the Somme? France? Do you mean in World War II? No, the Somme. The Battle of the fucking Somme The SOM is still full of UXO that can explode because the explosive nature doesn't deteriorate 100%. And if that shit gets set off, it just fucking detonates, which is why we have all these anti-mining rules now, which is why we created the convention on certain weapons, and why booby traps, specifically hidden explosives that people won't realize maybe are explosives, are a part of that. Because unless everybody has a full class on, hey, if you see this specific type of pager out there, don't pick it up because it might be a fucking bomb that didn't blow up on September 17th, 2024. Yes, we know it's November of 2027, but if you ever see one of these in like a tunnel or someone's abandoned house from the area where everybody ran away, don't touch it. It could be a bomb. I know it looks kind of like a toy. It looks like a little radio thing. Yes, it is the size and shape of something a child would put in their mouth because they're fucking stupid. Yes, possibly pressing a button on the side of it is what sets it off. Yeah. Those are, we'd have no idea. They could be everywhere. We have no way to secondary detonate them. They are not on a elimination timer. Even if they are on an elimination timer, they are scattered throughout fucking MENA, apparently. The entire Middle East, North Africa region. They have gone as far as Syria and Damascus. They are in Iran. They are in Lebanon. Probably some of them are in Palestine. Egypt, Jordan probably have some. No one knows where they all went off either. Could have been somebody driving and he had it in his fucking trunk, in his pocket. I love this like idea still with the pagers. I'm just going to go off on it because it's so fucking, it's such a bad idea. It's just such a bad idea that like, if it's not like you handed it to the guy and exploded, how many times have you left your car keys or your pager or your wallet like in your pants? You know what I mean? And your wife was like doing the laundry. That's such a realistic situation, just such a realistic scenario. Like, oh, hey, honey, do you have the terrorism pager I got from Terrorism HQ? Like, oh, yeah, was in your pocket when I was doing laundry the other day? I put it on your desk in the kids' room. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's on the kitchen table where the child does homework. Oh, no, yeah, I didn't know what that was, so I set it by the remote, by the TV where grandma sits. Like it's just, that's why you don't let booby traps go out into the world. If I can imagine a scenario, and you can't counteract the scenario, that's game theory. It's just like, this is why that shit was so, we were so misbalanced in that conference. It's basic game theory. Like, if I can do it, and you can't keep me from doing it, it's going to happen. Statistically, it's going to happen. The higher the number gets, the more likely it's going to happen. When you have 5,000 pagers, if it's 1% of all possibilities, then what is that out of 5,000? 10? 50 pagers? 50 pagers are going to guaranteed be like out of fucking pocket. Like, you're supposed to do all these numbers. This is actuarial shit. You have risk assessment guys. Ryan Macbeth, I think, did this. I think he did BDA. And part of battle damage assessment is the opposite side of it, which is like battle damage prediction, like predictive statements on what's going to happen downrange when you enact a fucking a technique or whatever, you know, or a tactic. Like, okay, so we're going to fly this plane, we're going to drop this bomb, we're going to drop it here. This thing has a minute of angle to hit that's like literally next to zero. It's just 100% going to hit wherever it is because it's guided. But even if it hits where it hits, the kill radius around it is 100 meters. The casualty radius around that is 150 plus. And we're going to have like 6 buildings minimum collapse. Like, is that okay? You do that. You can't do that when you send 5,000 bombs. When you have another guy, a series of guys carry 5,000 radioactivated, untraceable bombs into the world. Like, is there, you know what I would take is a fucking manifest. Like, did the like, they're supposed to be, like, I can't ever tell if they're a completely disorganized terrorist entity or if they're actually like a sophisticated anti-Israel military unit. We kind of talk out of both sides of our mouths when it comes to every terror cell on Earth. They're always very good at stuff until it's time for them to not be for the narrative. So, like, do they have like shipping manifests that we could have like proven? Like, if you have a sign out, this is the funniest part. You could do this to the American military. And I would actually almost give it to you, except for it's still a violation of the law of war. But if you get it into the right spot, like if you put it into a big box, right? And then you get it onto a base, and you know that it's going to go to the guy like at the fucking S3 shop, the logistics guy, you know, hey, or S4 I think is actually log. Is S3 communications? I can't. S3 is personnel. I think S4 is log. You send it to the fucking logistics guy, right? He starts fucking filling out, hey, all right, everybody sign for one of these. So like when you take it out, you sign for it. If you can get that shipping manifest, I'll like retroactively give credit for these things actually went to the right people. That's like just the only evidence that you need. Like, well, we don't have that. Like, why can't you get it? Why? You know the guy. You gave it to the fucking guy. Just follow him with a satellite. Look at him with the eyes of God we've given you to put in the space above your countries and just see where he fucking goes and see if you can't find a little clipboard. That would be the funniest shit in the world. We found this clipboard. You see, it has these terrorist signatures. All of them have checked single, no children. And they have their addresses all the way down. We have all of their addresses where they live. They are all bachelors. All of them were bachelors. Somewhere out there, there's an IDF fucking Hezbollah guy watching me right now like, fuck. I fucking thought it. This is the best thing since we lied about the fucking all of the terrorist names on the calendar that was just the days of the week. This is a terror. This is a terrorist calendar. You can tell this is when they were doing the guard duty. You can see written here. This is the name of the guard. This is his job today. It was whip the feet of the prisoners. Every fucking person that speaks Arabic is like, that is Monday. That says Monday, John. What the fuck are you talking about? How are you extrapolating? It was like next to the fucking, I think that was in the kitchen too. It was probably dish duty. It would be the funniest fucking thing. 2 days before, some fucking Hamas terrorist is in there like, guys, I don't know if you understand this, but it is very important that every time you make coffee, you clean up after yourselves. We don't have anybody in here to clean up for you, so I have put everyone's name on the calendar. Why did you put everyone's name on the calendar? We can't have everyone's name on the calendar. They will find us. They will know who we are. It's only your first name. If they find us, we're all going to die. We are in a tunnel. You have to clean up the coffee after you make it. I say this mostly to you, Ibn Dushka. More like Bint Kahba. Totally, putting in trackers with GPS would have been so much more effective. That would have made it a directed explosive. I mean, to some fucking degree, you know what I mean? Being able to trace it. But honestly, like, all of that extra work is not as good. It's just a pre-made, good old-fashioned Raytheon American fucking arms explosive. Just like literally just, we gave you a F-15s. Put a fucking JDAM on an F-15, have a forward observer, shine a laser where you think it needs to go. From a fucking spy plane. And then you leave. It's like such a basic tactic that it kind of hasn't really changed since World War II. It's just really good. It's the best way to kill people that are under the ground. We figured out. The fucking Japanese still pissed at us probably a little bit about this. What did you do? We found out where the bunker is. Yeah, and we fucking wrote where it is on a map. And then the guy just did the math, I don't know, with his fucking, put his little wizard hat on, back on the fucking boat. And now they're just flying planes out, dropping fucking big-ass bombs using math. Really? Yeah. That's pretty fucking sick. Yeah, I know. It's cool as shit. I ain't got to do nothing. None of us got to do anything. Okay, I'll get back to it. September 18th, fresh wave of explosions of communications devices, including walkie-talkies, strikes Lebanon, killing 14, wounding some 450, according to Lebanese health officials. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant speaks about excellent achievements by Israel's military and intelligence branches leading to impressive results, but does not mention the device attacks of the previous 2 days. I'm going to get into this more. I'm going to put my conspiracy hat on with this a little bit, but these are I'm really fucking completely off the mark. This doesn't include of communications devices, including walkie-talkies, because Israel has not been, as far as I know, to this point, completely forthcoming with all of the niceties of this operation. I don't know exactly who is doing it in Israel. This might be something that was like, clearly, Get fucking Luna box. Clearly you haven't fucking read this, whatever the fuck, and it's the guy who says he did it. I just haven't come across it yet, at least from a source that I would actually trust either. But I've heard reports of all sorts of shit exploding. Who knows if it's just bad Lebanon tech. I've heard solar panels exploded. Walkie-talkies exploded. The walkie-talkies, from, I think I've seen pictures of them, don't look like, you know, military-grade walkie-talkies. They look like just general fucking bullshit. And who the fuck else? Who knows what else? Because now we're a little bit more chaotic. So we're kind of past the investigation phase. Being something that people can capably do, because as this happened, Israel was moving its forces towards the Lebanese border, both on the ground, and obviously airstrikes started fucking happening. They killed Nasrallah eventually, but people started fucking mass fleeing this region in order to not get killed in additional bombings. So it's very difficult to do an investigation on anything on your side in a general sense. The people that can tell you what did and didn't explode, that are going to look at it, catalog it, check it out, double check it, all that shit. Probably if they had to choose between doing that and sticking around to see if play the good old fashioned Lebanese game, is Hezbollah underneath my apartment block, they probably decided to leave and not continue finishing that investigation. I don't think that's a big leap in logic. Also, maybe some of those people would have been Hezbollah and then killed anyway halfway through. Who the fuck knows? The cool thing about war is it has this ancient concept called the fog of war, where no one knows what the fuck's happening. Increasing tensions, evacuations, damage, and violence in an area increases the overall fog of war. As a literal concept, it just makes the bean counters who count the beans less accurate, sometimes dead, and destroys the bean counting machines or records. It destroys those. Because sometimes they just get caught on fire. Sometimes people intentionally attack them so that you can't prove how many people lived in an area. Oh, where did the apartment manifest go? Where did the apartment manifest go? How do you know that everyone in here was not Hezbollah? You know, that's just, it's old school shit. I'm not like really like reading between the lines. It's just like the best way to do a fucking genocide, or even just get away with some minor war crimes and not have to worry about it later. It happens with such regularity. It's kind of one of the first things that UN people check for, is like, hey, when they came here, did they kill, like, I don't know, did they go to like the fucking journalist office, kill all the journalists, and then like burn the last few months worth of newspaper records? Like, did they go to the hospital and like destroy all the birth and death certificates? Did they go to like the school and destroy the like the children's manifests? Did they go to like the apartment lease office, or like the HUD, or like the city hall, and just start burning shit like crazy, like just like all the records? Like, did that happen? Like, yeah, okay. Where have you seen any large earth moving equipment on the periphery of town where there's a lot of soft soil? Have you noticed that any of the home improvement stores, or whatever you call it, the farm supply stores, are just like weirdly out of lie? Like, they lost a lot of lie. If it's an advanced nation, have you noticed that, like, hey, did we notice any satellite images outages, like unexpected satellite outages on our own surveillance equipment? Maybe, I don't know. This was my theory. Woo, monstrous logistics cover up. Yeah, I mean, they hit the record center too, which is where the guys would be. But you know, it's kind of fair, I guess, if the people are standing right next to it, which is kind of always the case here. But who knows? I'll get into suspicion later. Fresh wave of explosions, does not mention the device attacks of the previous 2 days. 19th, Israel says it struck hundreds of rocket launchers in South Lebanon, putting them out of commission. I gotta know what that means. This is a good militarism. Okay, so this is how military analysts trick you. Okay, you and me and people on their own side and people on the other side. This is wonderful. This tells you nothing. If you tell me, and understand, look at the difference right now between Ukraine. Ukraine is perfect right now, not because Ukraine is like above reproach. Ukraine's spotlessness of their reputation has to be so fucking above reproach right now, though, that they have to take like above and beyond measures to look not shady. And so if you've noticed a lot of the stuff coming out of Ukraine, when Ukraine says we hit X amount of this, they'll try to tell you specifically 150 soldiers killed here during this time period, 6 tanks They'll go down, if they can tell you, they'll tell you it was a T-34, it was a T-35. It looked like a modulated version of this. Here's a picture of the tank, right? Because someone aimed at it. So you take a picture of it. Almost all of these things have some sort of recording equipment. You notice how like all the American videos, we show you the little black and white goes in on it. They have our tech. They can do that. So they can take pictures. It's called spotting. The spotter goes out there and looks at shit, right? Might be in a drone somewhere. It might be in an actual literal spy plane if they're still running spy planes. The spotter might be part of the fighter wing detachment. It might be a little chunk. It depends on how they do it. But you have a guy that looks at something, and the guy that's looking at something can see it. And if he can see it, he can record what he's seeing. Sometimes it might not even be an actual picture, but you can tell. Right now, okay, it's like you call in these things and you do records of them. I do warfare. It's not that complicated. Like literally, you could go to McDonald's or you can do warfare, which is why people trying to like obfuscate it is so weird to me because it's just so fucking basic. It's just so straightforward. Like we called in airstrikes, and you can go look up records of our. Well, you can't, but you could in the military, and reasonable authorities could look up records of airstrikes we did and close air support call-ins from, you know, medical evacs to like literally calling in helicopters to shoot at people on the street, because you have to go, Roger, this is OP blah blah blah, current position is 9-digit or 10-digit grid, LB blah 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 da 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 da, calling for close air support, need this whatever your current thing you have, it's coded, so it's like fucking we're calling for this type of thing, or sometimes you just say what kind of mission it would be and they decide the fire mission up the line. So he's like, you know, we have spotted X individuals at grid coordinate roughly da 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 da. But that's the basic thing. That's how a mission works. All of those communiques are recorded to some degree. The fire mission is written down just so that you can actually you can go back to it. They read you the fire mission back, and then you have to read it to them one more time. Because once upon a time, people used to call in, and by once upon a time, I mean every fucking time someone learns how to call in fire missions for the first time, they accidentally give their own position. So you read it back and forth a series of times, and then you also compare it against the actual written down positions of everyone. So like, you understand that you are giving a fire mission on your grid coordinate, over? Like, okay, I got that back. COC, disregard fire order. COC, I'm calling in a new fire order. If you haven't heard one of those, Roger COC, they're perfect. But the birds that come in for fucking Kazovac, all that shit, it gets written down for that specific reason. I saw the video of that attack because they took a fucking video. The airplane just records its video, the helicopter. It's body cams. We have body cams. We always have. We've had them for fucking decades. You can see fire missions from back then. So this should be providing evidence of these fire missions that are on population centers to make sure that they're fucking golden. And you'll get some criticism of them. But like, you should have all of that. And if you can't provide that, you probably shouldn't be attacking unless there's an immediate threat to life, which there almost never is, because you're blowing up pagers on a random fucking Tuesday. You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck September 17th was. A random fucking Tuesday in the middle of Lebanon in a goddamn market stall. But yeah, what I'm saying, rocket launchers, this is why this is such. A rocket launcher could be fucking anything, and it doesn't tell me what it is. Because, like, a rocket launcher is an RPG-7, RPG-8, RPG-9, whatever the fuck. It's the tube, right? A rocket launcher could be a guy shooting a rocket. A rocket could be a grad buried in a fucking mountainside somewhere, or some other multi-missile fucking rocket artillery position. A rocket launcher could be some tubes that look like a rocket launcher and were just confirmed positive by a random forward observer with like not 100% certainty. The thing is if you don't tell me exactly what is getting hit, then I don't know. And if you don't care, you don't care. Just don't care. You can say, I don't give a fuck. I like it when fucking Hezbollah dies, and I think that everyone that's in Lebanon could be Hezbollah, is probably Hezbollah, because I trust fucking the IDF. Okay, cool, based. That's your opinion. I get it. Rock on, bro. Blood smells good to some people. Do vampire shit. But the thing is how they're lying to you is now you just think of rocket launchers, right? So each one of those is a single rocket firing at some point. But like, is it? And like, what is the loss? Like, if you blow up 1,000 rocket launchers, what am I out? Because we could blow up 1,000 of the types of rocket launchers that we were dealing with, and you've blown up approximately, you know, $30,000 worth of scrap metal that can go get picked up and probably put back together because it's not even going to be that badly damaged. It's metal. It's going to go fly away. Hit it with a hammer until it gets back into shape. No one gives a fuck. You know, are you hitting an entire actual, like a fucking a surface-to-surface missile site? Like some real shit? Like, is that like a, like, are you hitting a fucking multi-million, like, Attack'em's fucking, you know, shooter? Obviously, probably not, considering how dog shit all of their fucking attacks are. So, like, how effective is this? Also, how did you hit 1,000 fucking rocket sites, but then still fucked with the goddamn terror attack? Why did you still do the Joker shit? If anything, it just seems like the fucking rocket sites could have been hit without doing that. Like, none of the Joker fucking pager and cell phone attacks makes any fucking sense. Because you're not going to convince me that the Hezbollah people don't know what Israel is going to do after being in conflict with Israel for like 50 fucking years or whatever it is. Like, they know that you guys are going to get butthurt about whatever thing you decided to be butthurt, real or imagined, and then you're going to do a mass strike on every fucking site that they know exists. If anything, the pager attacks kind of, I think, maybe just scared the shit out of the populace as a terror move, and maybe somebody thought that was a 5-head way to cause a speedy evacuation of the south of Lebanon. But if anything, I think this shit was the actual attack. I think this that we're going to get to with the Hezbollah leader, Nasrallah, I think that was the actual attack. And the hitting the rocket sites. I think all of that was supposed to happen at the same fucking time, right? And maybe the pager attacks were supposed to come after, which would be way more justifiable. Because I could imagine on a random Tuesday out of nowhere, who's going to be immediately paying attention to their communication device? If you time it immediately after the fucking leader of the entire operation gets killed, then you're probably going to have a higher concentration of target impact because everyone's going to go, oh shit, should I call in? Because the boss is dead. And then you are more likely to actually have the people holding onto the things, maybe, but they got discovered early because it's a ruse, a Batman ruse. It's perfidy, you know, by the fucking Joker himself, Benjamin Netanyahu. So it just doesn't fucking work that way. The 20th, Israel strikes a residential building in a crowded Beirut suburb during rush hour, later announcing it had killed Ibrahim Akil, Hezbollah's military commander. 37 people were killed in the strike, including entire families, and dozens were wounded. Well, they were terrorist families, so fuck them. Hezbollah later confirmed Akil's death along with 15 other Hezbollah members. Akil had been wanted by the U.S. for involvement in a deadly attack on the U.S. embassy in Beirut. Why is this happening? In 1983, according to the State Department. Israeli military said that Akil was planning an attack on northern Israel similar to the Hamas-led attack on October 7th that sparked the war in Gaza. Okay. The Israeli Air Force strikes approximately 400 on September 21st, 400 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, including rocket launchers and additional military infrastructure, whatever the fuck that means, in southern Lebanon, saying that the launchers were aimed at Israel. Okay, so you say. Lebanon's Interior Minister Bassam Maulawi says its intelligence agencies are working to dismantle a spy network, saying that Lebanon is in a delicate and dangerous security climate. No, I always see this shit, and I just really can't tell. It just every time it's like, oh yeah, this is a sophisticated Israeli like fucking attack. It's just fucking the most people live here like you've ever seen. And of course, I get it, like Hezbollah bad, but god damn. No one here is like fucking, it was definitely worth it to see Jim's entire family get brought down in this building collapse for fucking Ansar, for fucking Goofy Goof Hassan in that fucking, the basement of that building. Hezbollah and Israel trade heavy fire overnight on September 22nd and into the early morning hours. In southern Lebanon, residents describe huge explosions that lit up the night sky. Israeli military said it hit some 290 targets, including Hezbollah rocket launchers, while some of Hezbollah's rockets hit deeper into Israel than they have previously in this war. So how many fucking 290, including Hezbollah rocket launchers? Who the fuck knows what they're fucking hitting? 400 Hezbollah targets, including rocket launchers. What the fuck are you shooting? Dude, there's fucking rocket launchers everywhere in Hezbollah. There is. Like, goddamn. I like rocket launchers and other stuff and military infrastructure. What the fuck do you mean by that? Like, just say what it is. If you hit it, it's fucking gone. What the did you hit, like a communications hub? You know, did you hit a refueling depot? Was it a weapons storehouse? Was it a munitions crafting area? What was it? What was it? Tell me. I need to know. I need to know what the fuck you're hitting. Cause it's just not great. You're never going to know maybe 100%. And you know, that's the thing. Oh, okay. So you said, you're never going to know 100%, but like, can you get to approximating it? You know, like what in the fuck? How effective is this? How many fucking more rocket launchers do you guys have to hit before they stop? All of them? Okay. Like, is there like, where are these things? This is the most sophisticated war that is just absolutely conducted in public and everyone can see that it's goofy as shit. And just, there's just mass attacks on civilian centers for the most dubious successes ever. You notice that like you hit shit open warfare, obviously, like you see like the dead tanks and shit, and like the dead guys, you drag them out, you lay them all in a little big fucking line, you put all their busted shit up by their heads. Yeah, look, we fucking got all these guys. But you kind of like are hitting and running across state lines here and like not doing a BDA that makes any fucking sense. Like I have no fucking idea what you're hitting. I'm finding out how many civilians you killed from the other people. So it's like, are you weighing it out? Do you give a shit at all? I mean, if you don't, that's fine. Just tell me. You know what I mean? Be honest about it. Because in my mind, like if you can't say that, then you don't care. If you're firing it into a civilian center, and I'm not hearing like how much precaution was taken to avoid civilian casualties, like specifically, we only used like these types of weapons, these types of armaments. We did these specific things to minimize civilian casualties. We double checked this. It's just like, they don't give a fuck. They're like, you didn't do anything. You didn't do any of your homework. You know what I mean? If I'm losing you on this, what I'm describing is basically like, if you take a shit, pull the fucking toilet seat lid up, right? Did you pull the toilet seat up? Like, we have no idea. The people that live in the house said that maybe we did leave the toilet seat down to some degree, but we left the toilet seat down in or the toilet lid down in a terrorist place. Do we not have the right to shit? I don't know, man. There's just certain things that you're supposed to fucking do. God damn. September 23rd, Israel calls on residents of southern Lebanon to leave only hours before blanketing the area with more than 1,300 airstrikes. Those strikes killed at least 558 people, including women, children, and healthcare workers, of course, and injured more than 1,800, according to Lebanon's Ministry of Health. This is the highest single-day death toll in Lebanon in decades. On the same day, Hezbollah fires around 200 rockets at northern Israel. You know. Good job, Israel. You fucking got them. I know it's like cruel, but it really is like, oh shit. The member of the Knesset, Moshe Solomon, has announced that the ground incursion into Lebanon by the IDF has begun. And the IDF has called on all the residents of southern Lebanon to evacuate. Lebensraum! Lebensraum. Get it, dude. Go ahead. You guys learn from the best. Pop up there. That's fucking hilarious. The highly sophisticated attack. We know exactly where we're shooting. We have a fucking we got a very strong understanding of where all these guys are. We know where they are. We know where they are. We know what they're thinking. The like, we bombed you 700 times and then you just, they just, this like weak, like death slap into the face is just pure comedy. Because like, I know that like people take themselves extremely seriously with this whole Israel thing that are like Westerners, and it's embarrassing to be a shill for a country you don't even fucking live in. But like I only imagine Israel as this like petulant shit-covered child that just keeps running into another neighbor's yard and slapping one of the neighbor's kids while crying and like literally pissing their pants, and the kid's like bloody and crying too, and then the Israel child like stops and he's like, "Are you done?" And then the little kid slaps him, just slaps the fuck out of him, and gets it with one good one. And the Israel kid just jumps up, re-shits and re-pisses his pants, and then sprints around the yard screaming and crying until Mama America comes out and powders his fucking bottom and changes his fucking diety. Like, I just don't take you fucking people seriously. And I mean that to the entire nation of Israel. You just conduct yourselves like, it's just absurd. I don't know how to say that any nicer. If you want to call me anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel, I don't give a shit. That's like, I knew that was the fucking toll you have to pay to say that Israel is a big poop baby, pissing and shitting their pants all over Mena. But like, I feel like it's apt. God damn. You know how you can't always tell the difference between people in the Middle East if you're like a fucking psycho like I am, because just in general, I feel like the Mediterranean appearance is kind of like, you know, universal. Kind of like all the German white fucks where I'm from kind of look similar, but you can always tell the difference between an Israeli and the other ones, because if you talk about killing a child in front of an Israeli, when they get a boner, you can see them circumcised through the front of their jeans. How about that one? They're uncircumcised. It's Hezbollah. There you go. It's fucking two sides to baby. Motherfuckers. Israel strikes an apartment where Ali Karaki, Hezbollah's Southern Front commander and the third in the organization's hierarchy, was staying. He survives. Sirens sound in the northern Israeli city of Haifa and nearby towns. Israel says Haifa was targeted for the first time since the war began nearly a year ago. You would think that they're constantly getting got. I like it. It's like Israel's been targeted, Haifa got, and you're like, oh shit, dude, Haifa got fucked up, right? God damn. Oh my God, they have a real point. Smoke billows from a site targeted by Israeli shelling in the southern Lebanese village of Zayt on September 23rd. Fucking. I'm like, oh shit, man, dude, fuck. Oh goddamn, I'm so sorry, Israelis, you got hit so hard. Like, oh no, it's fucking Lebanese. Hezbollah and Israel continue to trade fire through the night. Israel issues more warnings to residents in southern Lebanon to flee, while heavily bombarding the area with hundreds of additional airstrikes, killing dozens more, including 2 UN workers, and wounding many others. Iran's president warns in an interview with CNN that Lebanon must not become another Gaza at the hands of Israel. Israel says a strike in Beirut killed the head of Hezbollah's missile division, Ibrahim Kobaisi. But yet, early in the morning of the next day, Hezbollah launches another long-range missile that reaches Tel Aviv airspace before being shot down by Israeli forces. The first time the militant group has launched a missile like this towards central Israel. Israel continued its airstrike campaign across much of southern Lebanon, killing at least 72 people and injuring about 400, according to Lebanese health officials. The Israeli military also announces it's calling up 2 additional brigades of reserves for the north, saying it must prepare very strongly for a ground invasion into southern Lebanon. God damn, dude, it's looking fucking rough here in Israel. Ah, damn it. It's an Israeli airstrike in Gia again. Amidst the backdrop of United Nations General Assembly in New York, U.S., France, backed by other members of the G7, proposed a 21-day ceasefire plan. This is September 26th between Israel and Lebanon. Israeli officials, including Netanyahu, are quick to reject it. He says, fuck that shit. Israel says it carried out more than 200 airstrikes in Lebanon. Hezbollah fires dozens of rockets toward northern Israel, most of which were intercepted. Remember, I had a conversation with a guy where he's like, this is a very sophisticated attack that destroyed their communications network. Certainly, guys with rocket launchers will no longer be able to shoot rockets. Like, are you crazy? Do you not know how war works? They scared people of the pagers, and that ended terrorism. Stupid as shit. I still don't understand how that was supposed to make sense. Like, there's still just other pagers. like there's just other shit, you know, like just use other shit. So this note that they have been constantly hitting rocket launchers at the cost of several civilians for days, dozens, maybe hundreds, thousands of people wounded. Who the fuck knows how many people are wounded? Because we're past record keeping. That's done. You're not keeping. Like, I would be stunned to find they had any fucking spare donor blood at the hospitals right now. Like, if you have a mass casualty event in most major cities in America, 100 to like 500 people have bleeding injuries, you can sap the entire donor blood supply for an entire city. Like, you can actually knock it out because you can't keep that much blood on tap for that many different types of people, because don't forget, it's not liter for liter. It's liter for liter in the blood type that can actually be donated. So plasma blood goes away. Actually, fucking Ryan Macbeth delivers whole blood to troops on the front line. He says that every time with drones and shit. He could probably tell you how much fucking blood you need in a mass casualty event. I guarantee you they are out of blood in Lebanon. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're losing medical personnel. I would not be surprised if anyone's accidentally hitting fucking blood and medical supply centers. Loss of a lot of medical supplies is bad because you can't get them. You know, you blow up an MRI machine. That might be the only MRI machine in an entire province in a poor country like Lebanon. Who the fuck knows? I'm specifically thinking of MRI machines because I need one. They're rare here in Kentucky. Imagine that. You know, you also have just naturally like walking wounded people, injured people from anything else. There's the water's fucked, sewage is fucked. There's going to be fucking disease like crazy now. Hooray. All the horsemen are here. But like, if you just think of all of the people that are like half bled to death, that would be fine in peacetime. Well, if the fucking, you know, if it wasn't mass casualty event after mass casualty event, but somebody, a very upstanding and righteous organization did a mass bombing campaign through the entirety of the country with wounding weapons. Wounding weapons do one specific thing. They wound people. You know what happens when people get wounded? They gotta get medical treatment. You know what happens when you get medical treatment for fucking penetrative and explosive wounds? You probably get blood donated because you lose a bunch of it on the way to the hospital. You know that? Oh, but he lived. It only fucked up his hand. Yeah, but he's down 2 pints. That guy's down a pint. That guy's down half a pint. That kid's down half a pint. That dude's down 2 pints. It's some rare shit. That guy's down a pint. That guy's down a pint. Pint. In every province in the entire country, how easy is it to get new donor blood into Lebanon? That's a good one for fucking Ryan Macbeth. How easy do you think it would be to replenish Lebanon's donor blood supply for all of these injured people? You know how many people are going to fucking die from solvable exsanguination because of shit like this? Or have long-term, you get organ failure, basically. If you can't get the whole blood up, and if they just plasma you back to like pumping pressure, but you're low on blood, you can still have mass organ failure from an inappropriate amount of like iron and all that shit in your blood. You just buy. You need all them blood bags. You need them donors. And you can't get fucking UN. You can't get fucking Doctors Sans Frontiers and all that shit in there during this. Like, people just really don't consider it. The ignoring 1,000 people injured that I was saying, or 2,000, we're at 4,000 just for the pager attacks throughout the entire country. Now with walking wounded, non-ambulatory wounded, and dead and dying being pushed in their directions, we're going to have to deal with how many? 500, 600, 700, I think maybe 1,000 people total unconfirmed dead through all of these fucking bombings. All of them have to be buried, identified, put somewhere so that they can either be burned or put in the ground so that they don't cause pestilence. So we're going to have corpses everywhere. We've got damaged sewer lines. Sewer lines run alongside water lines most places. I don't know if they're completely different there. All the water lines are going to have mild amounts of damage here and there. There might be spurned water. We're in a little bit of a warm place next to a fucking ocean, so that might not be the best. Food supply lines are going to be fucked. Medical supply lines are going to be fucked. Now no one trusts the goddamn tech. Who knows if Israel is going to do another fucking mass terror attack? Like, the situation on the ground in Lebanon is countrywide almost as bad as it can get. Technically, it can get worse. You just have to spread what's already happening in one spot to the rest of it. And what happens? Well, I guess all those Lebanese people are going to die, or they're going to get fucking crushed up against the regions where they can't go. I don't know if the Maronites are going to let the Jews in, or the Maronites are going to let the Muslims in, if the Shias are going to let the Sunnis in, and the Sunnis are going to let the Shias in, and the this and that's going to go this and there, and that's going to go there and this, and the Druze, that shit's fucked, dude. That shit is fucked. It is such a bad situation to be in. Remember when we just had a few, like, 100,000 people sick in a country of 325 some odd million in America? How taxed the medical system was. Now you have people suffering gunshot wounds. Literally, you have to be one of the best possible surgeons that exist to deal with gunshot and explosive injury wounds. You just have to be one of the best. You have to be a high level surgeon to fix that shit. You're not sleeping anymore. How many do we need to fix these people? You're gonna have fucking raw amputations. People are gonna be cutting off fucking rotten limbs because you can't get antibiotics because they're using all the goddamn antibiotics. And it's just gonna keep continuing. It's just gonna keep going and going and going and going. Thus is war. It's the worst shit, right? And they're not accomplishing anything. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Later, Israel says it has killed Hezbollah's Air Force commander Mohammed Hussein Saror in a strike on Beirut. They had a fucking Air Force where they got like 2 old MiGs with fucking duct tape on them. In a fiery speech at the UN General Assembly in New York, Netanyahu says Israel is winning on multiple fronts and would attack Iran and its proxies anywhere in the Middle East. Many of the delegates in the UN hall leave in a public snub at the start of his address, at which he calls the UN a swamp of anti-Semitic bile. Dude, I'm telling you, that word used to mean something on this planet. We're rapidly approaching a point where it's like, you're anti-Semitic. Anyone can go like, okay, what who gives a shit? All right, who's not at this point? What did I fucking like? Did I shadow you while I was walking past a cafe? Anti-Semite, hummus. Like, dude, you want to know? There's a guy called Aesop, not Aesop Rocky, Aesop, and there's a story called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Okay, there's also now a country, and it's the country that called anti-Semitism. Y'all are fucking it up so bad. So fucking bad. It's got nothing. It's your country. I just want to pay for less of it. Like, it's on you. I don't give a fuck. You're not Americans. I don't fucking care. Y'all are fucking this up like crazy. It's nuts. I just can't believe the confidence that people are proceeding down this road to oblivion. Because, you know, like, you're kind of at a point where the way that you behave, Israel, justifies anyone that wants to invade you too, because they just could. The only thing that's keeping them from doing it is us. And if we back off, like, all right, man, it's probably not gonna be 7 days next time. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer. I don't know. I don't think they like you. I don't know how you're gonna hold any of that territory. I don't know. Maybe you are. More prison walls, big fucking 20-foot death chambers, ghettos, whatever the fuck you want to call it, mass executions, disease. Fucking deprivation of rights, apartheid state. I mean, I get how you're gonna fucking do it, but like, I don't think y'all should be holding more territory, because you already can't quite deal with the few walls that you have, and you're not that big. It's just like fucking, I guess Lebanon truly is the Poland of fucking the Middle East. Hezbollah in shambles. Yeah. This is why the Lancet made a point about indirect casualties in their article on Gaza. This is why I was so fucking pissed at fucking Loner Box's weird ass. The strike was good. It fucking killed 37 out of 40, I believe, at the time we were having the conversation. And even then, the numbers were apparently already up to like 3,000. And that was just for the first day I was talking about, not even the other ones. 4,000 people are suffering from who knows what level of explosive and penetrative injuries from those things exploding, right? It could be just some people with fucking burst ears and, you know, concussions and shit, sleeping off a concussion in a war zone, which is just the most comfortable thing to do. It's 100% recovery rate, let me tell you. Y'all, everyone's, Tyler, you're a little bit mean. His TBI makes him really fucking upset. I feel like if he didn't have his TBI, he probably wouldn't be as pissed as us. You know who else is going to have a TBI? Fucking almost all of the children in Lebanon. By the fucking end of this, you're gonna have a whole goddamn country full of people that have emotional regulatory control issues because of you killing their fucking parents when they were 9. Yeah, they're all gonna be really fucking they're all gonna be like, oh damn, remember when they fucking blew up that guy who I don't know when I was a kid that looks like all the rest of the people from this region that fucking do terrorism? Yeah, that taught me a lesson. Fucking assholes, bro. Several hours later, the Israeli military announces that Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah was killed in the strike in Beirut. Hezbollah later confirms his death. Analysts say the killing of Nasrallah has transformed an already complex and deadly regional conflict with a broad array of potential outcomes for Israel, Gaza, and Lebanon and beyond. Okay, so that's this guy. Hey, look, it's the Big 3. Nah, it's just Big Me. This guy's dead. Remember Soleimani that Trump killed? That's him. This is Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah. And this is Ayatollah Khamenei, I believe. Let me just double check that shit. I got him up here too somewhere. Yeah, Ali Khamenei. This is Ali Khamenei. These guys are dead, right? We killed this guy because we thought it would end Iran's doing terrorist shit. He was he was the Shadow Commander. The Shadow Commander. We got him, the Shadow Commander. With a drone strike. Didn't end shit. This is Hassan Nasrallah. We killed him. Well, not we. Israel killed him in a very, very concentrated bunker buster strike attack on an apartment district that actually was pretty fucking accurate. Like, respectably went straight down and got him. Assuming he's dead. He could very well be buried under rubble and alive. And kind of until you see a body, you don't know. More than likely someone's reporting he's dead, but if he does come back, that's going to be pretty fucking epic for the people that support him. I don't give a shit if he's dead. I wouldn't give a shit if he was dead if I was in the military. If I was in the IDF, I don't think I would care that much. Maybe you can, dance on his grave a little bit, which I've heard there's a lot of grave dancing. Very cool. But this is a terror cell leader. These are all these guys from the Middle East, okay? They all do shit. They're in the UAE. They're not. Some of these guys are just like presidents of area, and some of them are terror leaders. Some of these guys have killed terrorists. Some of these guys have run terror cells. And, they kind of pop around. You're going to lose track of them as you kind of get them brought up, because it's just a series of old dudes with neat hats and beards. And that's basically what the Middle East is. These guys all do a little bit of terrorism here and there. Who's this guy, though? This guy looks like some of the rest of these guys, right? He kind of looks like this one. You get the same sort of almost kind of hat. Oh, no, that is that guy. Who's this guy? This guy is the guy before this guy. This is this guy. Before we had this guy, we had this guy, right? He was friends with... oh, sorry, no, not this guy. This guy. Nope, not that guy. That guy. This guy came after this guy. They're friends with this guy. Okay? He's still alive. This guy's dead. This guy's alive. This guy's dead. Friends, right? Nope, not him. Not him. No, not him. But this guy. Right? Still alive. That guy was the guy before that guy. So we have all these guys, right? And they all kind of pop up. They just keep coming back. It's just an old fellow with glasses, a little hat, and a beard, right? Why? Because they're fucking terror cell leaders and leaders in general for the region. They're completely fucking replaceable. They always have been. This guy is Abbas al-Musawi. They killed him in 1992. They got him with the Israelis flew out 2 little Apache helicopters. And they killed him and his kid and the people that were driving the car. And they said, that's the end of Hezbollah. The next day, this guy, who was 32 or something, took over for the next 30 years. It was very important to kill this guy. Okay? Because this guy might have been friends with, like, this guy. And the guy that was before this guy, who I think might have been... No, not this guy. The other one. This guy is the guy that cuts the dude's fingers off. This is Mohammed bin Salman. He's also not a friend of ours. He's a different kind of that guy. He's a that guy. All right? I think I accidentally shut off this guy. The other this guy. So this guy and the guy that was before this guy, right, was friends with this guy. And they supported him, and he did terrorism on Israel, right, and in the region in general. They killed this guy. This guy got replaced by this guy, who was friends with this guy, and also with this guy. This guy died, and now that guy's dead. All right? So this guy died, replaced by this guy, and now we have question mark. What could possibly happen next? The reason to bring this up is it doesn't matter. They do things, right? Like this dude was more secret-y in the shadows, okay? This guy just runs a fucking country. He doesn't give a shit. Well, he's sort of his like pet does. This guy over here did what this guy was doing, but better because he became more organized, right? This guy made Hezbollah into the army it is today that Israel's kicking the shit out of the ruins of what this guy had. This dude led Hezbollah through the like 2005 war and all that invasion shit that occurred while I was doing a different invasion somewhere else. Sorry, I wasn't up to date on it. I was fighting other people in the same area. So this guy gets killed, and they're like, you know what? We got to kill this guy because he's going to end this guy's little crew of fuckos, right? They're done. We killed him. No. This guy goes away. Now we have this guy. This guy did it for 30 years and they killed him. So what could possibly happen next? Do you think this guy might just replace these guys? Because this guy's already been replaced. They just have a new one of him. He's still around. But you think if you kill this guy, he's going to go away? He already knows he's going to die. Look how fucking old he is. No. They're going to find new guys. Because that's what you do. This guy has young guys underneath him. You killed a few of them. All right? They don't all go away. Still some left. And the cool thing is you did terrorism. And everybody fucking hates a terrorist, including other terrorists. He said, bye. Bye. We'll get into some of his shit real quick, too, because he's kind of an interesting fellow. You can't know everything about everybody. But this is, This is Hassan Nasrallah. Imagine him now looking pretty much the same, but like right up to here and above is just like concrete and dirt, probably. Just like a lot of concrete and dirt over the top of him. He's just kind of fucking buried in that shit. This is a regional conflict with people that have ancient grudges going back. This guy's got 30 years of fucking history in that area. People hate him. People love him. People are crying for his death. People are dancing on his fucking grave. But this is a guy that cannot have been stupid enough to not train up people underneath him to take over. Also, when the last guy died, this guy just did take over. He was 32. Now he's dead, but he was 70-something. That's how this shit works. The reason that Hezbollah is attacking Israel did not go away. If anything, it has just been more cemented. After the guy before this guy died, that guy in 1992, the immediate aftermath of that were some of the largest Hezbollah attacks ever. I think that was when they did the car bomb attack on the Buenos Aires consulate, the Israeli consulate or embassy in Buenos Aires. And they killed a few hundred people, I think, or at least injured a few hundred people. And then also, this guy's just reign began. So everything that followed that was kind of like the point that killing these guys doesn't do shit. Killing the last guy resulted in 30 years of the new guy. Kind of nuts, right? We keep killing people that are literally the guy that does the rockets. The rockets keep going. And you kill the rocket people, but then the rocket comes back. And then you send out the pagers, but they're all still talking to each other. And why is that? Well, it's because Israel kind of fucking sucks. You kind of fucking suck. Like, you suck. You're assholes. You're pricks. No one fucking likes you. Because you're a dickhead fucking country that does dickhead shit. We are too. Okay, go ahead. But what we don't have is a border with all of the people that fucking hate us. And we also don't constantly antagonize Canada. All of these fucking conversations were like, yeah, well, if Canada was doing this thing, wouldn't you respond to that? Canada doesn't do that to us. You know why? We're nice as fuck to Canada. Canada used to invade America. We got good relationships with them. Now Canada doesn't fucking invade America anymore. Mexico used to invade America. They did. They invaded us. We did a few wars with Mexico in various different ways. And we're nice to Mexico now. We have great relations with Mexico, despite all the racists that occupy our government and large chunks of our border region and also our non-border region. We got racists everywhere. But we enjoy a very, very friendly relationship with Mexico, especially compared to how relationships are with European countries and any other European countries, much less the fucking MENA area. If you continuously antagonize these people, they'll continue fucking hating you. And they'll never stop attacking you because they fucking hate you. And you are the one that has the ability to stop it because you have the magical fucking missile defense system that makes it so next to nobody in your country ever even gets fucking hurt. Whereas any given literal day of the week for 2 weeks straight, if you're in fucking Lebanon, you can just die randomly because of shit that Israelis do. Just randomly. You could be doing fucking anything. You could be doing fucking anything at all in Lebanon and just die because Israelis are up to some shit. Like, what happened? Like, oh, I was just fucking scratching my balls. I went to my friend's apartment. I went to some random guy's apartment to deliver DoorDash. I delivered food because I work at a restaurant, picked the wrong time of day, and now I don't have a leg anymore because there was a guy fucking 6 stories underneath that. And fuck me, I guess. So I lost a leg, you know, and it's hard to deliver food without a leg. What were you doing? Oh, I was just, I'm deaf now. I am deaf now, but in Arabic. Because I was at the fucking supermarket and I was in the freezer section with some guy and his fucking ass exploded and now I'm fucking deaf. How do you feel about Israel? Oh, I fucking hate them. Fucking hate them. They fucking, fuck those motherfuckers. Fuck them. Fuck them for life. Fuck them. You're just making more and more of that. Like literally, if you're going to have the same amount of people in Israel die, no matter what, because they're going to continuously keep fucking bombing you and doing terror attacks, wouldn't it be better to just start building shit instead? Like if you have to spend $5 billion on anything, right? And you can do $5 billion on Joker mode pager terrorist attacks, or $5 billion on unfucking the multiple cities you fucking annihilated off the face of the goddamn planet with our goddamn ordinance we keep selling you. Wouldn't it be better to spend the $5 billion at least making yourself not look like a fucking asshole in the region? You know? Build the fucking hospitals. Start maybe winning some hearts and minds. Remember that old fucking mantra? That shit worked. Hearts and minds worked, by the way. Hearts and minds worked when people actually wanted to fucking have the country be a different way than it was, and you gave them the decision. Hearts and minds didn't work in Afghanistan because the Afghanis largely didn't fucking want Afghan to be America too. They just didn't fucking want it. They didn't want it. If they did want it, they didn't want it bad enough. That's why they're all fucking full of Taliban people now. They wanted the Taliban. They got it. Okay, fair. You know who's dying in fucking Afghanistan from American forces and getting pissed at American forces right now? Nobody. Nobody at all. They're fighting literal terrorists. The biggest... the fucking terrorists are fighting terrorists all the goddamn time, as a matter of fact. The Taliban is like currently at war with ISIL-K and Islamic Jihad, I believe. And ISIL Kandahar and Islamic Jihad in Afghanistan. Here and there. Islamic Jihad pops in and out of all these fucking countries. You could be the good guys. For like 5 fucking seconds. Goddamn China's on it with that Belt and Road Initiative. Whatever the fuck that shit slaps. All right? Everything has its limits and efficacy. But I just don't see where this ends. Like you have to prove to me that there's something in this aside from just an endless psychotic quest for blood. Just an endless desire to see death and depredation in the world. Because that's all I see from the Israeli pundit side of things. Which, if you're an Israeli and you're like, well, not all of us are like that. I'm sorry to say this, but this is how your fucking country is paying to have itself presented on the world stage. I can't do anything about that. You can, so fucking do it yourself. I can't be another American holding Israel's hand through every single fucking thing that it does. I just literally cannot pick you guys up and coddle you like the fucking child nation that you are for whatever fucking reason it is that you refuse to be adults on the world stage and continuously fucking embarrass us. I can't do it. Can't do it and I don't care to. Don't we have the right to defend ourselves? Like how, when does it end? Where is the right to defend yourself drawn? Well, there is no line. I'll tell you that right now. And if you say one, it's probably made all the way the fuck up. We'll stop defending ourselves when they stop doing a terror attack. Yeah, I know. I get it. All right. Look, you're talking to a fucking American. All right. I'm better at this than you guys are. We already did this shit. We've been doing it for fucking years. You get a little fucking terrorist attack. It's the worst thing ever. 9/11. Oh, it's 9/11. A regional tragedy in New York City. I'm in fucking Cincinnati. It's another, almost at the other end of the whole goddamn time zone I'm in. Much less the other 3 time zones worth of America. And then what? The fucking New Yorkers get up in a goddamn tizzy. All of the entire inbred American political system lives or fucking invests there. And then all of a sudden, 3 fucking days later, we're invading the entirety of the Middle East for 20 years at a time, generating the next 6 fucking generations of terrorists and wasting money. Just literally bleeding money away that could be spent on fucking anything else. You know why the economy is great in America right now? Because we're not at war. That's it. Do you know how good the economy was in America before I fucking before 2001, before I saw them fucking towers get knocked down and we went to 20 years of war. It was fucking awesome. The economy was so good in the fucking 90s. Not for everybody, obviously, but it was so good in the 90s. People didn't care as much about health insurance because we were making that much fucking money. People could pay for their hospital bills. The fucking powers that be could parasitize the American working class, and it wasn't that big of an impetus. It wasn't that bad. Then we did 20 years of war, and no one can fucking buy shit. These motherfuckers are trying to do war forever, and then getting bankrolled by rich Americans and rich Europeans that help pay for the fucking country to keep going. Like, everyone's gonna fucking hate you. You're generating generations upon generations of terrorists. Because the people are going to be pissed at you. And there's not going to be anyone there because their fucking parents are dead to tell them that there's a better way. You know who picks up fucking war orphans? People that want to put war orphans into war. That's who. War orphans are very likely to turn into violent fucking little monsters because they don't have any fucking parents. They get fucking snatched up by psychos who are like, hey, you want to eat? You want some water? You want a little Band-Aid for your skinned knee? Here's an AK-47, kid. Get popping. And even if you're not like a child, teenagers, people in their 20s, people that don't have jobs will take a job as a terrorist just to fucking eat. Like, we just saw this. It's just established. That's just how Iraq went. Like, it's constant. Half the people that were trying to kill us didn't give a fuck about if it was an American or not. It could have been British people there. It could have been a Japanese occupying force. It could have been fucking Russians. It could have been people from fucking South Africa, from fucking Brazil, Chile, anywhere. They didn't fucking matter. They were like, I'll fucking literally shoot anyone for $200. I'm sick of hearing my daughter cry because she doesn't get to eat rice tonight. Like, that's where this shit starts. And understand, if I'm telling you this for the first time and you're finding out about it, no, this isn't new at any level of politics for anyone that's over 30 years old. Particularly people that deal with fucking foreign relations and people that deal with countries that have been at war or have any understanding. Everyone knows this is happening. Everyone knows that this is where it's going. It's not uncommon knowledge. It's not a fucking like, oh, wait, you're fucking like seeing into the future using your magic man brain powers. No, bro. This is how the fucking world works. This is how terror cells build. Do you know why Hezbollah could recruit for 30 fucking years? Because Israel fucked up for 30 fucking years. That's it. They did dumb fucking Israel shit. Every time they had the single smallest inkling of an opportunity, they took it and they pummeled the shit out of the region and created an entire new generation of sociopaths to fight their own generation of sociopaths at home. They're disinterested, unconcerned, 2 years at a time Andes. Like, they're fine. They live in Israel. It's shooting all this shit down. Every once in a while, there's a little fucking car bomb or two. Meanwhile, on the other side of all of the not Israeli parts, it's just fucking wah 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 all day. You're just fucking making new ones again and again and again. And at a certain point, just doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result. You're not going to kill terrorism out of existence. At least America figured it out after 20 years. If I can listen to you idiots, this is how you run an anti-insurgency. Like, maybe we should stop fucking listening to the Israelis and do fucking anything else. And then it actually started to succeed. Wow, fuck. Actually, the country that has had an ongoing insurgency for 50 fucking years and been the subject of relentless terror attacks, maybe it's not everyone else. Maybe it is kind of fucking them. What if that's the answer? But you're not allowed to fucking say that because you're going to get some people fucking butthurt at you. Like, whatever the fuck, man. I don't give a shit. And here's the thing, is I don't think a lot of other people are going to give a shit soon either. It's all fucking academic horse shit. I don't fucking care. I don't care. You can't tell me anything. Oh, you're anti-intellectual. No, I'm just fucking bored of it. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of people pretending like it's some moral shortcoming to think that Israelis are fucking psychos when they get online and dance and shit while they're fucking killing a bunch of kids with like pager bombs and stuff. It's just absurd. I just don't take you seriously. You're a small country on the other side of the ocean. You happen to have some politically prominent individuals here in my country, and you've paid off a bunch of them. Hey, good for you. You got away with it. The Turks didn't. I get it. But, like, I'm not going to fucking tiptoe around saying, like, you guys come off like fucking psychos. This is psycho shit. Also, there's psychos on both sides. Okay, we'll get to that. It's one thing I didn't have pulled up. But this is the funniest fucking joke that I think I can make. All right, because we got to bring it back around. Don't worry, I'm going to make fun of the other side. The British solved their IRA terrorist problem by giving the Irish what they wanted and not just being complete dongs to them. Fucking stunning. Actually, the not negotiating with terrorists was a terrible idea. It actually didn't work because America wouldn't even exist if you didn't negotiate with terrorists. What the fuck do you think we were doing? We're fucking wrecking some shit. Goddamn. Now, if you're a Native American, don't negotiate with terrorists. That's a terrible idea because, you know, Trail of Tears. We did a genocide. What's on? Hold on. I was reading a profile on Nasrallah from the Washington Post in 2006. Back in the day, January 16, 2006. This is by Robin Wright. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's kind of interesting. This is something that also check live notices. Okay, cool. This is also something that a lot of people don't understand because this is one of the lines that gets fucking put off from pro-Zionist sources all the time. Is that for some reason Israel is the like dam holding back terrorism in the Middle East, which does not make a fucking lick of sense. If anything, they're pretty much named in every screed, manifesto, document is like, man, but also like fuck the Israelis. And maybe once upon a time it was solely because they were Jewish. I get that. But at this point we've kind of stacked on like just enough atrocities that I think just not liking Israel because you think that they're anti-Muslim, racist in a terror state is probably a pretty legitimate way to observe them. I don't understand how that would not be accurate at all. You know what I'm saying? But this kind of goes to the fact that that's a common thing you hear. They're the bastion against terrorism, but they're not, because the terrorists are bastions very often against themselves. None of the terror cells in the Middle East basically like each other at all. This is just one of those things where you find out about it and it's like the first time your fucking middle eye opens in your fucking forehead. And you're like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, they all fucking hate each other. Hezbollah does not like the Islamic Jihad. Islamic Jihad does not like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda does not like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda does not like Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda does not like Al-Qaeda. And you can keep going because there's so many different fucking Al-Qaedas now. AQIZ was the one that we had in Iraq. ISIL does not like Al-Qaeda. ISIL does not like the Taliban. The Taliban legitimately does not like Hezbollah and vice versa. And I don't know. Sometimes those things change. The little terrorist organizations and the big ones and all the ones that are in between have a strict interpretation of Islam. Understand that. That's kind of where it comes from. You know what I mean? That's a big chunk of it. Which means that if they're not the same name, they probably have a different interpretation, and their goals last probably only as long as they have one collective enemy to be pissed at, and then they're going to collapse onto each other, which is what happened in every single fucking other place that we kind of slightly pulled out of. You know what I mean? That all the fucking terror organizations start fighting each other. On a rare occasion, one of them actually manages to join them all together, and then you have ISIS for 4 fucking years, and then they get cracked and turn into one of the most infightingest groups of all time. And they fucking hate each other, and they're all split up. So now that's just another terror cell. ISIS was the natural thing that was going to occur no matter fucking what, because we were in Iraq for so fucking long and destabilized the government. You would never have had an ISIS if you had Saddam Hussein, like unironically. But you would have a Saddam Hussein. So, you know, it's kind of take it or leave it. I think maybe, I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking get a read on that. I don't even know how to get a read on that. But ultimately, like, that's kind of the issue, is these groups build up and then they usually come under one guy. And if that guy dies, it's sort of like patrilineage. You know what I mean? And it's kind of built into Islam anyway to take different paths when the main guy goes. You know, like, hey, I'm feeling kind of like a fucking Maliki here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your own thing going on. Kind of got my own thing going on. I think it was his brother. No, I think it was his dad. I think it was his brother. I think it was his dad. That you kind of pop off from there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, without getting into it, just understand that the line of Israel being in any way, shape, or form a deterrent to terrorism is crazy. I just don't even know how the fuck you would prove that. I don't think you can. Because half the time, that, like, if a terrorist org like Boko Haram, you know, you have Boko Haram builds up in Africa, like, they came from MENA, you know what I mean? Like, they go up there, they learn, and then they come back down. Like, what did you do? Nothing. Like 50 fucking years. You're not stopping anybody from becoming terrorists. I don't understand where the logic is in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, did you think you were absorbing all the terror attacks? They're happening otherwise. Like it's just made up. Like, I don't know where the fuck that came from. I accepted it as a fact when I was a kid, and then, like, when I went to the Middle East, I was like, okay, Israel's fucking got nothing to do with this shit. They just generally don't like them, but, like, if they're not immediately coming up in the conversation, all these people, like, Iran and Iraq fucking hate each other. But now they're kind of, like, cool because Iraq kind of can't be mean to Iran anymore, and Iran was mostly pissed about the Hussein family. And then that's a whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Afghanistan's over there. Got Qatar is trying to be like, hey, man, look, we got slaves, but we also got soccer. Come on now. UAE, same thing. Saudi Arabia, same thing, but somehow even richer. Snip, snip, snip on the fingers. You know, but they seem to be just like countries that want to go along and get along. And if you have healthy, wealthy, or healthy fucking beneficial relationships, co-relationships with them, they seem to actually just start thriving as nations, and no one wants to do terrorism anymore. So, like, if you've noticed, the more someone has been bombed, particularly by any country, the more they hate that country, is one thing I've noticed. So you like the Houthis, they hate America. It's like, yeah, but did you know they also hate Saudi Arabia? Like, more. Did you know, like, a lot of those countries, like, hate the fuck out of Saudi Arabia and do, like, terror attacks in Saudi Arabia? Like, what? Yeah, they fucking hate Saudi Arabia. Why? Well, because Saudi Arabia bombed them. What? But they're both Muslim countries. Yeah. But the bombing the other country pisses people off. Fuck off. Yeah. If you bomb another country, the people that live in that country will fucking hate you. Like, crazy. Like, they get mad as shit. I know, right? Like, yeah. So what about Israel? They've been bombing, like, fucking everyone that's around them, like, nonstop. Yeah. All the people that fucking hate them. Do you think they did it? I don't know. Maybe. Did you have you ever been bombed by another country? Were you? Well, I've never been, but I feel like if it happened to me, I'd be pissed. Yeah, right? Yeah. What do they do after the bombing? Do they try to, like, get a nice, like, peace treaty and, like, help rebuild and, you know, fix everything? No, they stole territory and then, like, burned down somebody's olive trees. They fucking just left. They just left. The fucking city's still in ruins. Really? Yeah. So they fucking hate them, don't they? Oh, they fucking hate them. What are they doing to fix that? They're going to bomb them more. But we've been assured that this time is the last good bombing. Trust me. Yeah, what happened to the time before that? Oh, first, like 92. There's a guy. He started up a group called Hezbollah. Funny hat, beard. Yeah, what happened? Bombed him, killed him. Well, what happened after that? New guy. Funny hat, beard. 30 years. Stronger Hezbollah. For some reason, they were more pissed. Oh, yeah? What happened? Israel didn't bomb the shit out of them for that 30 years, did they? Oh, yeah. Bombs, assassinations, fucking economic deprivation. Basically, the whole country is, like, barely had power for fucking decades. They're hardly even into this millennium, despite their best attempts. It's crazy. Yeah. Fucking, they're a little pissed. Oh, they're fucking pissed. Fucking assholes, dude. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Middle East. Welcome to Westside. No. Westside. Okay. Sean shows his guest a Houthi musical, hilariously backfires. I wanted to watch this. Apparently, it's very funny. Because we're gonna watch this and then we're gonna make fun of Hassan, and that's gonna be the end of the day.
Oh no,
Saudi deal.
you did?
Oh yeah, me and XQC both.
The fuck is no one? No.
Oh no, damn,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry. I needed the money.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way. Just so you know, these fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I need the money.
I don't know why. Like, from what I understand, like Turkey's like Turkey's a little posh for the Middle East. You know what I mean? Turkey's like nice. Turkey's like nice, right? And it's just funny to think of somebody from like Turkey, which is like, imagine like France, kind of. Imagine like France at the height of its Frenchness. And then like France is talking about two Balkan nations, like one slightly wealthier than the other one. And like the other Balkan nation is getting its shit kicked. Imagine, no, fuck that. Imagine France at the height of its niceness, and it finds out about like the Hatfield McCoys, but for some reason like the government took the side of the Hatfields, and then like the McCoys got fucked up, and this French fucking poofta aristocrat with his pinky in his mouth is like, look at them, these are the hill people of West Virginia. There, Hatfield McCoys, Virginia. These are the Hatfields. They're hill people. They're people of great music and culture. Can you imagine bombing them? Can you imagine? It's such a cruelty and a deprivation against them. Truly they are just like us with their love of music. They have played a song and we would listen to it. I do hope that they come out on top. And it's also, with all due respect to like this subsection of music in this area, it's like very samey to me. It just has that, it's bum 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 bum. So it just doesn't crack. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit. That doesn't mean that there's no good music from this. ISIS put out some fucking bangers that you couldn't fucking look away from. They were ridiculous. ISIS stole all of the good fucking Muslim musicians from Britain and got them killed by the fucking people we trained up. You goofy bastards. But that fucking like, I was like, damn, dude, this shit kind of fucking cracks. I would listen to this while I was fighting you. I would shoot you to this music you made about shooting me. I fucking respect the fuck. It's a beat, bro. That's a fucking beat. That's some good shit. I like that. Fucking, I'd do the little two-step. I like that shit. But this song's got it feels kind of mid. I don't know. Can Anthony Fantano? Can I get Anthony? Somebody clip this and send this to Anthony Fantano of the Needle Drop. I need to know what he rates this on a scale of 1 to 10. Is this certified? Is this a not good?
I'm so confused. What is
this? He just leaves. He turned on the fucking. This is the most like, if you're culturally from this region, this shit probably fucking cracks. You know how sometimes you hear some like fucking bluegrass banjo music and it doesn't work for people? It's probably like the same thing. It just doesn't work for me. I'm not saying it's bad. It just doesn't work for me. But he just turned on this shit. These dudes are just shooting guns and stuff. He just leaves them there. He just fucking goes.
أصحاب الفخامة والمعالي واسألوا عن الحشود العسكرية يوم صبرنا على الخوضة بآلي ما نبالي بالهرب والدفاعية.
Did he leave me alone in a room with a propaganda video? Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. hey man, watch these guys fucking sing songs and just musical people. These Houthi just okay. I gotta go shit. Yeah, the two-step. They were doing it. I was joking around it. They're doing the back and forth one. They did it. That's the little Middle East two-step. That shit slaps. It's a very energetic. You start doing that, you get everybody. You always got one like soft dude. There's always one softish kind of guy, like a little Middle Eastern group of guys, and they're like, "Oh, this guy, just fucking go ahead, Omar, fucking crack that shit on you." You're like, all right, I know what's going on here. One of y'all could disappear with this motherfucker later, aren't you?
This is a 3-minute video of. What do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like bad example, Chris Brown dancing. You know?
No. They do like
What is
they do
this?
musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made
This
this?
isn't music. I know there's guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their fucking like
Bro.
their actions all the time, and they love walking over. They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
Bro, Hassan is a bad date. Oh no, Hassan is a bad date, bro. He brought him in here. Watch these fucking guys talking about like, God told me to put this life behind me. I'm gonna fucking kill everybody that I see. And we stormed Al Dude in a few short hours. Dude, this is shit. This is just a narco corrido. It really just is. It's narco corrido, but like fucking for Mena, you know? Based. Tremendous. I got a lot of respect for these guys. They tried to fucking scrap. They did. It wasn't Houthi specifically, but yeah, the spirit's there. It crosses borders. Fucking.
He's saying they do not care about the heavy missiles. Like they will literally take the war to them no matter what.
Dude, he's just doing terror propaganda. His son is the fucking worst, bro. He's the fucking worst. Why, dude, why is it like the fucking choice that you had? Like, which way, Western man? Pro-Israel fucking Hezbollah, or just like the most limp-wristed pro-fucking terror propaganda, period? Like, not even legitimately choosing a side, just like literally any terrorist. Like, the one thing I have to give the fucking Israeli Hezbollah people is at least like it's one specific group that's doing something. Hassan just hears like a little fucking Arabic and sees a dishka and he's like, I'm in. I don't know what I don't know what these guys are on. I don't speak this fucking language to save my life. I don't understand the dialect. But I'll tell you what, I like the glint in this fucking guy's eyes while he's singing whatever the fuck he's singing about. Like, I'm gonna fucking put the heads of the Saudis on pikes and display them in front of my yard and let my dog fucking piss on the fucking bones of their ashing children. Like, what the fuck, bro? Dude, oh my god. What fucking no fucking no bitches behavior, but it's like just a normal friend. Dude, that's the entire fucking Hassan thing. No homies. No friends, no homies, no buddies. No pals. Oh my god, dude. I've never seen somebody harsh a vibe with a guy on camera like this. Like, this is nuts. So, this is pretty cool. So like this is from like 2004 during the Iraq War. These guys were freedom fighters in Iraq, and so they caught this American spy. He said he was a reporter, and so like this is a video of them bringing God's justice to him. It's fun, dude. They're like a very culinary people. Like they got good knife work and stuff. He just shows them the fucking beheading video from 2004. Like, oh, Hassan, what's going on? You're like, no, dude. Like this is very cool. Like this is a cultural thing. Like just don't like, no, this is fucking based. Oh my god, it's like a accidental mid-2000s like React video of like reacting to my friend's weird terror obsession. Like, dude, the fuck IRA has songs that fucking slap. There's narco corridos that slap. There's fucking ISIS songs that slap. Why did you pick the one fucking Houthi song that was made by a guy with free time? The most fucking... dude, I gotta find some of those old ISIS songs. They're ridiculous. I fucking hate ISIS. I'm glad they're all fucking dead. But they can put out some bangers, bro. You can't hate the fucking banger. All right? Motherfuck, bro. Lin-Manuel, get on that shit immediately. So I was walking through Yayid with some bombs I hid. Thinking about some shit that the Saudis did. Waiting for that moment when they had to get hit. Because I was sick of this shit. And I was a terrorist feeling terroristic. Dude, oh my God. Somebody give me the fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda pro-terrorism rap. Motherfucker. So this is all just in for one thing. One final shot on the way out today. By the way, don't forget the treat meter's up there. You guys don't forget Sweet Cheeks. All right, you're almost there. Nasrallah, the guy that died from Hezbollah, okay, said this in 2006 about the Taliban, who he's not fans of. What do people who worked in those 2 World Trade Center towers, along with thousands of employees, women and men, have to do with war that is taking place in the Middle East, or the war that Mr. George Bush may wage on people in the Islamic world, he asked. Therefore, we condemn this act, and any similar act we condemn. In 2004, Hezbollah issued a communique condemning the beheading of American contractor Nicholas Berg by al-Qaeda in Iraq as a despicable act that did grave damage to Islam and the Muslims. But the day before we talked, a suicide bomber had detonated a bomb in a Tel Aviv restaurant during a busy lunch hour, killing 11 and wounding more than 60 civilians. The bomb was laced with nails and other projectiles. The injuries were particularly gruesome. Islamic Jihad, another Iranian-backed group, claimed credit. So it's different guys. I asked Nasrallah how he applied his metric on civilians to Israelis. He described the issue of what he calls occupied Palestine as complicated. But it should be noted in the first part that Hassan Nasrallah of Hezbollah condemned 9/11. Hassan Piker did no such thing. Hassan Piker of Twitch.tv did no such thing. So, the dead Hezbollah commander has condemned 9/11. Hassan, we're waiting on you. I think that's the segment.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the West Side.